Hey everybody, it's me Marquita, and I am back with prom number 2. Okay, prom number 2 prom number 2 was my 11th grade prom. My 11th grade prom was in 2000, in the year 2000. See, 8th grade, I went to Northwest. 11th grade, I actually went to a satellite school. I went to a satellite of West High School because I was in state custody at that time. And so, okay. And so I was in state custody. I actually got in state custody August the 4th, 2000. And so this is when I was at my second group home. My first group, well, technically it's kind of third. This was like my third group home because like the very first group home that I went to was like an emergency shelter group home, but it was only supposed to be like 2 days, but it was like a couple months, from like August to September, because I was in the first/second group home when Nick was born. That's Dominic, my nephew. He's born September of 2000. And so I was in that group home when he was born. And that group home was horrible. So I was at the second group home, which or the third group home. I'm gonna say second because I didn't count the first one as a group home. I counted that just as an emergency shelter for children. But so the second group home, I was there, and it was all right. I mean, I didn't want to be in a group home, but like if I had to be in one, I'm glad it was that one. And I was only there not because I was a bad kid. I wasn't in the first one because of something that I did. The emergency one, it wasn't nothing that I did. The first one, the one that I felt like was terrible, I was there because I wanted to go to Central, which was the high school I went to from 9th, and I wanted to graduate from Central. And so that's the reason why I went to that Pacific group home, because I wanted to stay in the area where I could go to Central. And so that's why I was at that one. And then, so this is at the second group home where I went abruptly. Did not know I was going to that group home until 5 o'clock the morning before I went, because the first group home, which was horrible, they had no business having kids, like being foster parents, being parents of social studies, of teenagers. Like, they shouldn't have been in the system. They weren't that much older than me. I was 16 when I went to that group home, and I turned 17. And I turned 17 in that group home, and so, like, my birthday was like on a Wednesday. I remember, because I didn't have a birthday party because somebody else that we shared the same birthday that was at the group home, she was becoming a teenager and she wanted to have a sleepover. Well, I was turning 17 and I also wanted a sleepover. So I chose to do a double party. So I got to basically piggyback into her party. And I invited one of my friends, Leah. And then that Saturday is when, which that was Friday. And then that Saturday is when we went to, Dollywood. And then, and I kind of felt like that they were fattening up the chicken or fattening up the pig before they took it to the slaughterhouse. In my opinion, that's how I felt. Because Friday, I had a great birthday party. My friend was there, and we did a bonfire. You know, we roasted weenies and marshmallows over the bonfire. We because in that group home was a gym. We had we was skating in the gym, basically having a great day. And so it was like almost like the perfect day. That Saturday is when we went to Dollywood, had such a great day. That Sunday we went to church. Everybody, and it just felt like everybody knew except me. Like none of the kids knew, I feel like. But like the adults, they was like, oh my gosh, are you losing weight? Because like I was on a forced diet. No carbs and no sugar diet. I was forced to be on that diet. And that was because they wanted me to just eat protein. Now, if y'all seen my videos or if y'all know me, y'all know I hate the taste of meat. I don't like meat. So my only choice was to eat green beans or nothing, because I didn't like meat, so I didn't want meat, and you had to eat what was on the table. And so some days, if they fixed green bean and peas, that's what I ate. Like I didn't eat breakfast because they wanted me to eat breakfast at home so that they could see what I ate, so I didn't eat breakfast. Lunch, they had the other kids that went to high school with me. They had them watching me to see what I ate for lunch, so I didn't eat lunch. And then when I came home for dinner, they would fix some type of meat like fish, chicken, beef, or whatever. I didn't like that. And so my option wasn't, okay, just fix you something. So if they had like corn or mashed potatoes or a starch, I wasn't allowed to have that because that wasn't protein. So sometimes I didn't even eat, and like going like a day without eating, it was hard for me. It wasn't my first time ever feeling hungry, but it was pretty hard for me not being able to eat and having visible food in front of me. The other times that I have felt hungry, it was because there literally was no food. Anyhow, that's another story. So I'm at the second group home, and like I didn't go to Central, but because they were like, because I was like, I want to go to Central's prom. They worked out something and worked out a way for me to buy an actual prom ticket from Central High School and me go to Central's prom. So that day, oh my gosh, that was a beautiful day. Oh, and okay, so the first group home, what I was getting at was I felt like they was fattening me up, because it felt like everything was just really good. And then Monday morning, so this is Sunday, so Monday morning when I get abruptly woken up, and the adult, the female adult of the house, wakes me up and she says, "Oh, well, get up because you're moving." Now, I'm just freshly 17. And I know at 18, you age out of the system and they are allowed to kick you out on your butt on your 18th birthday. I knew that. And I was like, I'm just 17. Now, I am not street smart. Never claimed to be street smart. And so when she told me, "Get up, you're moving out." Or no, she said, "Get up, you're leaving." That's what she said to me. She didn't tell me I was moving. She said, "Get up, you're leaving." In my head, wait, what's going on? I was just asleep. Now they're telling me to get up and pack my bags and then I'm leaving. So are they throwing me out? Like I'm not knowing anything. So I'm packing my bags and I am crying hysterical because in my head I'm thinking they're about to kick me out on the streets, because it was not no secret that I was having a problem with them. Like I told my caseworker in front of them that I wanted to leave, that I was literally cutting myself because I wanted to kill them. That's what I said. And the only thing that prevented me from actually physically, and I'm not a violent person, and the things that they did that I felt like was unnecessary was just like building on top, on top, on top of each other. And so I felt like that I was pushed to my breaking point. And I told them, and I told my caseworker, or I didn't tell them, I was telling my caseworker, because they refused. One is illegal that they were supposed to leave the area so me and my caseworker can talk. They refused to leave, but I did not care. And what I told my caseworker and in front of them is the only thing that has prevented me from actually causing harm to them is I think she was 15 months, their 15-month-old daughter. Because every day I got up and I wanted to kill these people. And I can do a whole video of the little, and I'm going to call them mind games. The little mind games that they were playing. And the biggest one that they did was never okay. And I'm glad that one of the other kids told me of what they were going to do before they did it, because they wanted me to kill myself. I could be overreacting, but because of the prior conversation that I have said, they wanted me to kill myself. And they knew, anyways, that's not important. That don't have nothing to do with my 11th grade prom. So I got to go to my 11th grade prom. That day, I went to Salon Visage, which is a very, very expensive bougie place. I got a gift card. I can't say her name because she was not supposed to buy it for me. But she bought me a gift card, and it was a $200 gift card to go to Salon Visage and to get all dolled up. And so I went there. They put on makeup. I got my hair done. I went to Catherine's because I'm a nail biter, so I didn't get my nails done 2 weeks before my prom. I didn't get to get my ears pierced, which I was going to, but I didn't get to because, like my caseworker took me to get my ears pierced, and what we thought was if she had a letter showing that she is my caseworker, because I was in DCS custody, and DCS is Department of Children's Services, if y'all didn't know. So I was in DCS custody, and the rule is you're not allowed to get any new piercing when you're in the system. So, like if y'all heard my tongue piercing story, that's why I had to take it out, because I had a new piercing. I wasn't supposed to have it, but I got one. But of course I don't now. But even though on the paperwork it shows that she is my caseworker, she had her badge, because she was not my legal guardian, the state was, I wasn't allowed to get my ears pierced. So I didn't get my ears pierced, but I really wanted to for my 11th grade prom. So I got my hair done, I got my makeup done. I went to Catherine's, I bought me a dress. Catherine's, if y'all don't know, is a plus size store, you know, for people that basically, you know, bigger people. I think Catherine's goes up to a 6X. And at this time, I was probably in a comfortable 3, if I really wanted to, a 4X. Like I could fit 3X's and be comfortable, but because I don't like my form, like the form of my body shown, I always got a bigger size. I have always been like that. So got my dress, had shoes, all that. Then went over, one of the staff members was like, I'll take her to prom. And so we went, and we actually took her boyfriend's car to the prom, because he had, and that was pretty, it was a convertible BMW, and it was green. Oh, I love that car. And we, you know, she got her hair done too. Not on the gift certificate, but like just anyway, she got her hair done. And well, she always had her hair done. I didn't like her, but now, okay. I mean, I'm just gonna say I didn't like her, but that's because she worked one at a level 3. I was in a level 2 only because of my age, and because I took like so much medicine, they wouldn't let me go back to a level 1, which the first one was a level 1. So I was in a level 2. So she worked both at the level 2 and a level 3. A level 3 group home, they're allowed to physically fight you, basically. That's just putting it nicely. And so she had to cut off her level 3 mind when she came to us, because if somebody run, at first you was allowed to chase the and I was there with girls, so it wasn't mixed, it was just girls. You were allowed to chase, and if you could catch the girls, you're allowed to break them back. But because a couple of the girls actually like fell, busted their head, we don't know what happened, because we didn't, of course, run after them. The staff members did. So because it was like so many girls getting hurt, they then took that rule out. If they run, all you can do is just like run out the door and tell them, stop running, get back in here. Then you gotta call the cops. But you weren't allowed to physically run after them anymore. And so she had to cut that part of her brain off. Because at a level 3, they're allowed to physically fight you. They're allowed to physically run you down. And if you fight, like hit them, they're allowed to hit you back. Not right, but that's how it was when I was in state custody. So I went to the prom, and like we went in his convertible. It was nice. I'm telling y'all, it was nice. But so we went in his convertible, and then I remember it was Sam's senior year. It was my junior year, Sam's senior year, and Justin's senior year. And I really liked it, Justin. I really did. He reminded me, and this is just me with my little boy, boy crazy eyeballs. He reminded me of JC Cachez off of NSYNC. He looked like him. He was tall, had dark brown hair, and crystal blue eyes. Oh, he was handsome. And he was probably, or I don't know how tall he is. I'm going to say like 6'5". Now, I am 5'7". And so he was a tall glass of water. And I loved it. And so he was there. Because, it was his senior prom. And I danced with him and I danced with Sam. And oh my gosh, I think Sam was drunk. I don't know if he was. I'm just going to say he was. Because he yelled. He was like yelling. Because, the music was playing. And like he was yelling. And literally I had I had a earache the next day. Which did not help with the other thing that happened the next day. Anyways. So I danced with Justin, and like I remember I had lipstick on and I just kept kissing, like I didn't kiss him on the mouth, but like I just kept kissing his cheeks. So he had like lipstick on his forehead and all over his cheeks, and it was funny because I think I got a picture. If I can, I don't know where my pictures are because I had pictures because like somebody made a scrapbook of all the pictures that I had. And I remember Betty was there. It was Betty and April. April was there too. I don't know if they went with anybody. But I remember they was there because I got a picture. I don't know if it was with them. And Jason Nisberg, he was there. Because I got a picture of him. I'm trying to think of all the people that was there with me. But anyways, I just remember that. And but yeah, so I remember in the picture, like he had kind of like lipstick kind of all over him. It was me. I told you, like I liked him, but yeah, so, but I liked him like my freshman year, and it was his sophomore year because he's a year ahead of me. And I remember we was in, what was it? Social studies? Language arts? I remember it was a black teacher because she's the one that introduced me, like really heavily she introduced me to Kurt Franklin because she was like, he's coming to town. And I was like, I don't know who he is. She goes, oh my gosh. She's like, well, if your mama lets you go, I'll come and pick you up because, I'm going with a group of people. And I was like, oh, okay. Because, like, at this time, I'm a freshman. I was still at home. And so I didn't, like, my mama was like, no, it's all right. You know, she didn't want me to go, even though it was a Christian concert or a gospel concert. She didn't let me go. So I didn't get to go to the Kurt Franklin concert. Because my mama wouldn't let me go. But we were all in that class together. And I remember, because he's so tall, I remember he was always flooding. And they're like, Justin, you're flooding, And I was just like, leave him alone. I was like, maybe that's all the pants that he can afford. Well, that, of course, got the cheerleading girls being mean to me. And I'm just like, look. Well, like back in the days term, I was like, look, fight me. But I didn't say, look, fight me. I said whatever was cool back in 99. But I was just like, and she's just like, yeah, if I do that, I'm going to get kicked off cheerleading squad. And I was just like, well, leave him alone and leave me alone. And, but anyway, so, he was at the 11th grade prom. Well, my 11th grade prom, his senior prom. And not Justin, Sam is the reason why I did not get to go to accountant 2, because he was in my accountant class. It was his senior year and my junior year, and so I took accountant 2. Maybe it was not. No, he must have been a junior, because I didn't go to Central any of my senior year. No, I didn't. Hold on. I did. I went I did go to Central a little bit of my junior year, because I went my freshman year, my whole sophomore year, the kind of the beginning of my 11th grade year, but not the end. And this was like the end of my 11th grade year. So I did, because I took accounting. And so Sam always slept in that class because he didn't need that class to graduate. And but I remember the teacher that was doing accounting was the football coach, Coach Bobble. And so I remember, like, he went through, like, how, assets and debit and all that, and miscellaneous and all that, and how to write a check. And Sam slept. Well, I would grab his work and I would go through it and write. And I would go through it with the teacher, doing all that. And then I would give Sam back his work. He would write his name. And then about time it was for me to do my work, I forgot how to do the beginning. And I was just like, oh, I forgot how to do it. So I passed it. I passed accounting with a C, and that was actually coming up from a D. But so I got it all the way up to a C. And then that's when they were like, you have to have an A or a B to go to accounting too. Which I was so mad, because at that time I wanted to be an accountant. I wanted to be an accountant for TVA. That's what I always said. I want to be an accountant for TVA. And I said in another video, if y'all so happen to run across it, y'all will know what I'm talking about. Why I wanted to be an accountant for TVA. So I didn't get to do accounting too. That made me mad. And so after the prom, I came home, because the staff member that took me to the prom, she was working that night. So she just, came back and she was working. And then it was the next day. I remember we had to go pick up Sandy. And they would go, who's level? And I think I was like a level 4. And so they were like, and I remember I just woke up, because I was out till 1 o'clock. I was partying hard. Not really. I think we went to McDonald's. So in my head we was partying, because I was out till 1 o'clock. And then so I just woke up. It was maybe 12 in the afternoon. And they was like, oh, well, you're on level. Do you want to ride to go get Sandy? Which Sandy she almost lived in Arkansas. Because Sandy and, I think we was picking up Sandy, and we was picking up, we was picking up Sandy, and we was picking up Amber, because I remember Amber lived in South Pittsburgh, which is the town before you get into Arkansas. And then Sandy lived not in South Pittsburgh, but it was around that same thing. And what happened, because it was a 3.5 hour trip, what they aimed to, because they went on a home visit. And so what they did is, so that Sandy's parents didn't have to drive the whole 3.5, one way, and then 3.5 back home. And same for Amber, and Amber's daddy and little brother. But they worked it out where we drive an hour and a half and they drive an hour and a half, and we meet, I think it was Cumberland County, because I remember every time we went there, they kept saying that's the Cumberland Plateau. Anyways, I don't know I don't know where it was. But anyway, so we picked up Sandy. We picked up Amber. So it was me, Sandy, Amber. See, me. Okay. See, I was in the second row. You know what? I don't think Amber was with us. Hold on. I gotta go charge my phone. Hold on for a second. Okay, so let me shine that. That's gonna be a little bright, but I'll shine it directly at me. So we drove just halfway, but Amber went with us that time. It was just, see, it was Sandy and I think Ashley in the back, and then me and Terry was like in the middle seat, and then Heather was in the front seat. And I remember, like, and they were arguing about, I want front, and Heather was like, I got front, and, you know, and so they were arguing. So the staff member that was driving, I won't say her name, but she was driving, and she's like, if y'all don't shut up, I'm gonna, I'm gonna stop this van. And as she said that, a car hit us, and it spun us like 2 times. And then I remember we was like in like grass, and I was like, and my first thought was, Terry, get off of me. And like, cause I didn't even know that we were in a wreck. All I knew is Terry was like this way, like we all went this way, like this. And I was sitting on the outside, like she was sitting against the window, and I was sitting against the sliding door. We was in a minivan. I don't know if I said that. We was in a minivan, and I was sitting on the side of the sliding door. And I remember, that's the first thing I remember, is Terry, get off of me, like, and I pushes. Now, the problem I have with Terry is she has sweaty hands, and she touched me. So in my head, she's touching me with her cold, clammy hands. Get off of me. Because like I have to tell her all the time, don't touch me, Terry. Don't touch me. And she'll laugh, look, and she'll just hold her hand up, and it'd be like dripping. And I'm just like, Terry, if you touch me, I'm going to punch you in your freaking throat. And so that's all I can remember. And like when she, like, of course, it hit on the driver's side. And so like and she was on that side of the van. And so when it hit us, like, it hit us like this and knocked my glasses off. And I'm just like, where's my glasses? What? And like, I'm mad because my glasses are off. I'm pushing Terry off of me, not knowing we was just in a wreck. And then I remember looking over, before it happened, what happened was, I remember just looking, like, at the passenger side. I go, I wonder what an airbag looks like. Random thought. Why would I say that? Why would I want to know what an airbag looks like? And then it's like literally like 5-10 minutes later is when we was in that wreck. And I remember like turning my head, and I remember looking, out the window, and all I see is like a man, and he got his arm hanging out, and he got his leg hanging out the window. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, we killed this man. We knocked him out the car. So I turned, and I was refusing to look. And because like his hand was bleeding, I'm thinking, we done killed this man. And what it was is, like, when I looked over, he was trying to get out of his car, but everybody kept telling him, no, just stay in your car. And so that's why one leg was hanging out and one arm, because he was reaching out to like touch the roof to climb out. So he was like in the midst of climbing out. but I did not see him moving. All I seen was a leg hanging out and his arm hanging out, and like his hand was cut. But oh my gosh, I was so freaked out. So freaked out. So yeah, so after that they took all the kids to let me make sure I'm still charging. Yeah, they took us all to McDonald's, and I was just like, okay, forget the wreck. I'm having McDonald's. Yes, I'm fat. I never claimed not to be fat. They gave me McDonald's and I was Gucci, but they asked us, of course, before we left. Like the cops is the one that took us to McDonald's. And I remember the staff member that was driving, she just kept saying, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. And we're like, we're fine. And then Heather was the only one of us that went to the emergency room because she couldn't remember if her head hit the window. Because like there was like a smudge mark, but they didn't know if her head hit the window. Because like the window wasn't cracked. And it wasn't busted or nothing. So they didn't know, okay, did her head make that smudge mark or was it there before? And nobody can say if it was there before or if her head hit the window. So she went to the hospital, even though the staff member needed to go because I think she sprung her wrist or something, like something happened to her wrist. And because of course it hit on her side. And then do you know that they suspended her from driving? The group home did. They was about to fire her. And I was just like, why are you gonna fire her? It was like, and even the old man was like, I think I was going too fast. And she's like, I don't think I stopped at the stop sign. So they just deemed it like nobody's fault because we were the only two cars that was in the wreck. But they was about to fire her. I was just like, why would you do that? It was nobody's fault. And so like, because the man was like, I don't need her information. Like if she wants my information, she can have my information. And I mean, legally, she had to get his information because she was in company vehicle. Huh? Get in bed, Hannah. Because she was in a company vehicle, so they legally had to get his information, and then they gave him her the company, well, the group home's information and insurance and all that. And he's like, well, you know, I build cars, so like this is nothing. Like he was an old man. He was maybe like in his 60s, and he was like already retired, and he's just like, you know, that's just another hobby for me. And he had just a cut on his hand, but like, so he was fine. We all were fine. Like Heather, turned out she was fine. Kathy, yeah, she she hurt her arm and all that, but other than that, you know, everybody was fine. So that's what happened after my junior prom. that was the excitement. Like, I had a wonderful junior prom, and then the next day I got to a car wreck, which I remember. The car wreck was April the 28th, and I only remember that because my prom was, of course, the 27th. But my one of my best friends, Kia's birthday is April the 28th. And so that's why I can remember that date, because, you know, that's Kia's birthday. But hopefully you enjoy that. Kia, you never met Kia. I can't wait till y'all can meet Kia. I think you will like Kia.
Wait, who saw that person at Walmart?
Who?
That was sitting?
No, that was Teresa.
You never met her?
Yes, I met her.
How?
Anyways, Hannah, she just wanted to be in a conversation. That was the story about my junior prom. Stay tuned. I'll probably make my senior prom video when the girls go to sleep. Hopefully my phone is a little bit more charged, and then I can go do my senior prom, and then I will upload them. It might be April the 2nd video. I'm planning on doing some things. Hopefully it all works out for April, but as of right now, if I upload it, you will have all 3 videos on April the 2nd, because I don't want to make it April the 1st, because I don't want y'all to think that I'm joking, because these are all real, authentic, 100% stories. So I will do it on April the 2nd, so y'all don't think that this is a joke. Alright, so hopefully you like it. Stay tuned. Bye.